Welcome to this official ITM Platform training video. Now we will learn how to create a project plan for a classic project through Gantt. We first go to the Gantt tab. Now I can start to create my Gantt project right away. But in this case, I'm probably going to need more workspace so I'll be able to clearly see all of the information that I need. There's a feature inside ITM Platform to maximize the work area. Let's click on this icon, and now I can work in full screen mode. Now I need to know how to create tasks. I can create a new task by clicking on Create. This will add a new line to my table, and then I can type in the name. If I press Enter, this task will be set up and a new line will appear. If I don't want to create a new task, instead of pressing Enter, I can press the Tab key on my keyboard, and this saves my changes, but it will not create a new line. Now let's create more tasks. When we are creating our tasks, we may mistakenly create a task in the wrong place. No problem. In ITM Platform, it is very easy to reposition tasks. All I need to do is select the task that I want to move, and then drag and drop it to the new area. I can do the same for multiple tasks by selecting the first task, and then, using Shift or Control on my keyboard, I can select the rest of the tasks and then drag and drop all of them as a group. The next step is to start creating the WBS structure, or the work breakdown structure. I can do that by selecting subtasks, or the tasks that I want to convert into subtasks, and then right-click my selection. And then I will choose Indent. This will create the structure for summary tasks and subtasks. If I'm not happy with this, I can keep on changing the structure by right-clicking and now choosing Outdent, for example, or create more levels with Indent. Let's complete our schedule. To prevent data loss, every once in a while I will need to click on the Save button to make sure I'm saving all the changes within the project. The next step is going to be creating the dependencies or the relationships between my tasks. I can do that in a couple of ways. The first option is to use the Gantt view. For this, I'm going to modify this Gantt view. First, I'm going to use this option, Zoom to Fit. This helps me locate my tasks. Then I'm going to zoom out to have a better view. If I would like to connect these two tasks together from the Gantt, I can hover over the bars, and this will show me two connectors, one at the beginning and one at the end. By dragging and dropping these connectors, I will be able to establish a dependency. The second option is to use the predecessors column. If the predecessors column is not displayed, I can go to the right and locate it, and then I can reposition it to a better place. For example, if I would like to link this task to the previous one, I simply need to double-click, use the drop-down, and then choose the predecessor. By selecting the line, ITM Platform will create a finish to start dependency. If I want another type of dependency, I simply need to click on the indicators that will represent both tasks to select start to start, start to finish, or finish to finish. Once I'm happy, I simply need to click outside, and this will create the dependency. If I prefer to type it in, first I need to make sure that the WBS and the ID columns are shown. I can right-click on the header, select columns, and make sure that my columns are present. I have my WPS code, and I have the ID for the task. This is the code that I'll need to use to create a dependency. For example, I can link this task by entering the predecessor's ID. If you want to delete a created dependency, simply double-click, delete, and press Enter. Next, it is recommended that you review your plan and identify milestones or missing milestones. For example, if I would like to convert this task into a milestone, I can do that by right-clicking and selecting Convert to Milestone. If instead I would like to create a new milestone, for example, after this task, I can right-click, select Add, and then choose Milestone. Another option is to create an already linked task. For example, after this one, I can right-click, select Add, select Successor. This will create a new task automatically connected to the previous one. I need to change the name, and then for duration, I will enter a 0. As our final step in creating a basic schedule, I only need to enter duration. And I can do that by modifying this value. I can enter values in days. I can enter values in weeks. I can enter values in months. And although I can enter other values like hours, it is not recommended. Now let's complete our schedule. And finally, we'll click on Save. And our Gantt project has been completed.